Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome. It is good evening because these days, of course, some people have to leave to go to the Vaal at about 4 in the morning, and others have staged for load shedding. I'll leave you to figure out who's who in the zoo, but good to be working with you, Lionel. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks, Neil. It's been a while since I worked with you, and yeah, an absolute pleasure. It's been good, and our show's been doing very well of late.
Yeah, well, I've been watching from a distance with yourself and Nico. You've spent a lot of time working with Nico. As you know, I get lumbered with the Cape Town meetings, and some of them are quite tricky with the fields having become quite big. But anyway, let's see if we can have a meeting of the minds. I'm going to get straight into sharing the screen with you because we've got 9 races tomorrow. And here's the betting for the first race, where looks like a boat race on paper anyway, because stepping out from 5 to 2 into 18 to 10 and Noble Kingdom from 18 to 10 to 16 to 10. Is that how you saw it, or is it deeper than that?
No, I do see this as a boat race, Neil. It's a work riders. I know you don't love work riders, but if you look at those, the top 2, number 7 stepping out, Sam Osea, top work rider for David Neverhosen from a good draw, and the form's there to see. Over the page, number 11, who is my first selection, the Noble Kingdom for Ashley Fortune, Waiting van Staden. For those people out there who don't know, he was actually a apprentice. So he's got a bit of talent and confidence about him. And he rides the 11. I really liked that run last time behind I Have a Prophet. I think you'll enjoy the step up in trip here. The draw of 2 is ideal. And personally, I thought the 11 from number 7. And then others to respect. Number 3, Global Approach. Siyabonga Mkhumbuzi is his name, by the way. He's a lovely guy, this work rider, but is held by number 9. And then I also want to mention number 1 for a possible place chance. And my value, Neil, is number 9, Black Lightning. And that, I'm just looking at the price there, at 16 to 1. On that last run, holds number 3, which is at 7 to 1, which is quite weird. So I think there's the value with number 9. But 11, 7, 9 for me. That's it.
Okay, 11, 7, 9. I'm going to make a note of that.
So no value, sorry, but I work riders, I know you don't like them. I actually do, and I generally find that the work riders with the best horse tends to win.
Okay, well, in that case, it should be, as you say, 11 from 7. So let's see if that form holds up.
But I think number 9 just could be there and thereabouts at a good price. Penisile Mkwawa, he's a past champion work rider, and that was a much better run last time.
Okay, cool. 9, maybe the Shruti in that race. Right, let me move on to the second race for you. Lyle already knows, but I'm telling everybody else watching that I study back to front. So I spent a lot of time on races 9, 8, 7, and 6, and then our meeting request time came up. So Lyle's taking care of the first 5. Okay, Lyle, the second race is a 96 handicap. Number 2, Good Time Guys out. Leaves us with a field of 6. It looks pretty competitive.
Geez, Neil. Just to let you know, by the way, I study race 9 first, which is not the last race, and then I go to number 1 up to number 8. So I'm similar to you, but I do the last race always first. So my worst race is always the penultimate because I'm a bit tired by then. But yeah, race number 2.
Why do you study race 9 first?
Because to me, it's always the hardest. And me sitting on course for 10 years watching the 9th race, that's where the PAs jump from 20 Rand to 2,000 Rand. So I always find that that's the last race. And of course, as a presenter, I'm the most tired, good English, Lyle, in the last race. So I need the most help I can get there because I'm tired of, talking for 6 hours.
Interesting. I knew you'd have a logic to it. I mean, the reason I studied first is because it's always the first leg of the jackpot quick mix, and I enjoy playing the jackpot quick mix.
And you enjoy it.
Yeah. So my day is just starting, as everybody else's is ending. My jackpot quick mixes are just starting.
And you do very well at those. Now, Neil, when I looked at this race, and I went to number 3, Dock of the Bay, and I had a look at this one. Who's your favorite? And I thought, oh, dear, no, not for me. But then I went one by one and studied all the other horses in the race, and I ended up coming back to number 3. It's not. I don't like this race at all. 4 of the 6 horses are coming back from a rest. So the only 2 horses that are racing fit are Mardi Gras and Captain Hindsight. And if Mardi Gras, this old man, he hasn't won for 558 days. If he was just a little bit younger or a little bit more consistent as far as the winning is concerned, I'd actually go at number 1. But long story cut short, I eventually went Dock of the Bay, Keegan Miller for Sean Terry. It was a good win last time. From number 5, Mitch got his wish, coming back from a rest, but nice. Those last 2 form lines have produced 11 winners. And then number 1, Mardi Gras, and number 6, Lord Varus, who could be the value here, by the way. Number 6, I'm leaning in to see the price, Neil, 7-1. That's probably the value horse in the field. But honestly, Neil, I have no idea. It is such a tricky little race.
Interesting you say there's that many winners out of Mitch got his wishes form line.
And Neil, sorry to carry on, but if you go back, look at Rain in Holland and Pyromaniac.
Yeah.
So Mitch got his wish. If he was fit, he'd probably be my first selection straight off.
Yeah, but 392 days, as you say.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Exactly.
very trappy. That is going to be, by the way, the first leg of the bipod. So if you were to do a bipod there, you'd put in a couple, wouldn't you?
At least 3-5-1. Yeah. I think actually 3-5-1 will get us
3-5-1. Okay, right.
Should
Don't
us.
like that race
No.
either. It's my first
No,
look at it.
no.
And, I have to go back and have a look at that. Right, let's move on to the next race, where race 3 is a maiden plate over 1,800 meters. A little bit of support for number 6, Top Sail, and number 10, Bronze Sword. No scratchings at the time of us recording, although number 10, Bronze Sword, has got blinkers on, and so too is number 5, Kalahari Chrome. What did you make of this one, Lyall?
Same again. I'm glad that they haven't put number 11 up at 5 to 10. I think that's probably the right price now. I think Otto Lukin, the son of Flower Alley, is the right one. Tara and Zaki's been in good form. Ryan Manga had 3 winners on, I can't remember what today is, so it must be Monday. So yeah, a bit of a wide draw there, but it's 1,800. And on the last run, Neil did finish 0.15 of a length behind Big Guy, and is 1 kilogram better off. And of course, quite a bit more scope. So I think 11 is the right one. But I do have respect for number 1, Big Guy, who's drawn perfectly with Caden Brewer, and an obvious chance. If you look at his last run, he was drawn 11 of 12. So I think he'll be there. And then my value bet for the race is number 6, Top Sail. Keegan Amello, I mean, that man is just riding like a man possessed. And he rides for Paul Matchett. Not the worst form lines either. 5 winners behind him in the last 2. But to cut a long story short, Neil, I thought 11 from 1 and 6, and I would just watch number 10 as well. I want to keep an eye on that betting. I see now into 5.5, drawn at 2 with a blinker strike.
Yeah, he's a son of Silvano out of a Jetmaster mare, so the extra 200 will probably be right up his alley. But of course, at this time of the year, those 3-year-olds are distinctly out at weight for age. So I would think number 1, Big Guy, should be pretty close to winning. He drifted off the boards last time, didn't he? 7-2 out to 8-1, but he nearly won.
He did. And Neil, because of Ryan Munger and Tyron Zaki's form, I am going to end up going with this horse, and I'm quite surprised. I don't think that's a bad price at all, actually.
Yeah, well, he's a Flower Rally out of an Ideal World mare. So if they went 3 laps of the Vaal Classic, he'd still be staying on.
Correct.
So interesting race. Okay, that's going to be the opening leg of the Place Accumulate. I'm just seeing the number 9, Breeze Over. No money for that? No, that's a first time. No money. Craig Zaki's going to have his last meeting, isn't he? This is his last meeting.
Yes, it's his last meeting. He can't go do Saturday. So yeah, it's going to be sad to see the back of him, but I think he's quite excited.
I wrote here in race 9, he's riding number 7, Silver Winter, for Stevie Moffat, and I wrote last race in South Africa.
Wow.
But we'll get to that later on. He might go out with a bang. Okay, let me move on to race 4, which is the first leg of the pick 6, which does look pretty trappy. No changes in this race in the betting, and I have at the time of us broadcasting or recording anyway, we have no changes. So over to you, Lyall. What did you make of this?
Well, again, the 2 favourites are quite strong there. I think the others that do have winning chances here, and I'll probably lean towards Karen's Legacy, the Daughter of Crusade with Chase Majan. I don't think Chase has had a winner since being back, and he rides this one for Corne Spies. 1,800 chance. No winners from the form line. That just tells you this is not an easy race either, by the way, Neil. Not one winner from the last 3 form lines, but drawn at 6 and 1,800. The 9, Coffee in Seattle, an obvious runner. Gavin takes the ride for Corey Lensley. But, this race just gets more and more complicated the more you look at it. On the debut run is held by number 4, all the way from the USA, obviously only having the third run here. And then over the page, I thought the big improver would be a horse like number 10, Ponderosa Pine, beautifully bred daughter of Silvano. Obviously, he hasn't shown anything yet, but there's blinkers on. And we know that Mike Cox stable's doing nicely. And they'll also mention a horse like number 5, Belly Cotton. But geez, I don't like this race now. I thought it was weak, if I can say that. I'm probably going to lean slightly towards 3 and then 9. It's pretty much how they're betting.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a strong field at all, is it? There's only got 2 4-year-olds, and they look distinctly moderate. So yeah,
not strong at all.
Maybe you're right. Let's watch the betting tomorrow. Number 10, Ponderosa Pine, could certainly be an improver, being stepped up to 1,800. Interesting. Okay, that's not easy, is it? You'll have to. I mean, it is the first leg of the pick six, so you can have a look at them going down to the start, but you'd have to.
And you know what the good thing is? On form, you can just take 3 and 8, 3 and 9. So the smaller punter can get away with those two. And if you're looking for an upset, this just could be the race as well. So it depends on the punter.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this other 4-year-old here, number 1, Silk Garden. I mean, it's not going to Hollywood, but as you know, over 1,800 meters, the 4-year-olds are 8 kilograms better off.
Correct.
Weight for age, and they're only giving 3 kilograms to the other. So,
but it's held by number 5 just on the last run alone. You know?
Yes.
So, And I remember speaking to him about the Silk Garden. They were very disappointed it didn't win earlier. So it has been a disappointing individual so far.
Yeah, trappy race. Okay, right. Sure. That's not easy.
It is trappy, huh?
Yeah,
not easy at all.
Okay, let's move on to race 5.
Can you see this, Neil? Can you see my writing there?
Yes.
Not great. Can you see that?
Yes.
I said not great.
Not great. I can see. Yeah, and a lot of numbers.
I didn't love it, Neil.
No, I think you're right. Okay, let's move on to race 5. There's been quite a bit of betting activity in this race because the money, as you see, has poured on number 9, Joey Soma's runner, Pomo Zealous. I think I'm right in saying that Joey probably trained the mother quality alone. Something tells me that
that does ring a bell, Neil.
He did. Anyway, it's a daughter of Pomodoro, and the money's poured on her. She's drawn 1. She's got Calvin Habit back on. The form lines of Quantum and Intoxicating work out well. Could she be a banker?
Sure, this is the problem, Neil. There've been 4 winners from those 2 form lines. I mean, I was surprised that she was at 22-10. So you can imagine how surprised that I am. She's at even money, but it doesn't mean she won't win by 5. So we'll certainly put her into everything. But I thought she was beatable again. I don't think this is a good race. Hence the money for her. But number 2 for me, Sassy, is probably going to be the right one at 4-1. Very exposed, 16th run, but holds number 1. Who's at they're sitting at 4-1, holds number 1 not once but thrice. Chase for Fani Bronkhorst. Number 3 might have a small little chance there, and then a horse like number 4, Rowan's Dream, improved last time. But it's such a weakish race that I would be prepared to go with just number 2 and number 9, to be honest. And I'm putting number 9 in because of the betting. I thought it was beatable, but I'll probably be wrong by 5 lengths.
Well, I'm going to go 2 horses. I'm going to. You might be right because it is over 1,800. I'm going to put in the 4-year-old Apache Fighter as the danger. So I'm probably going to go 1 and 9 there, but significant the money certainly for Joey Soma. I mean, they looked to have a big day the other day, and it didn't quite pan out. They had a win early on,
yes,
and then the other sort of didn't quite fire, right?
The favorites were beaten. Yeah, both the next 2.
But
so anyway, this has got to be our coffee then. We've got to have our coffee here. You number 1, me number 2.
Okay, I'll take you on for a coffee.
And of course we'll put number 9 in because all the money in the world's there. So of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Go Flickety. I'm just looking at that. Could that improve? Yeah. I'm just looking at it. That could improve.
Well,
that comes from a very good family, that Flickety by Far family, which I think Alison Wright trained.
Yep, and it's Arocha, blinkers on, pacifiers on, off back from arrest, and certainly could improve in this sort of field.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to put a few lines underneath that. That might, if it drifts, that might end up being the value. Number 8, go Flickety there. But look at the money. That really is significant, and I can see why.
Significant.
Okay, right. So there's the story for the 5th race. We've got a coffee going on here between Apache Fighter and Sassy. Okay, right. Let's move on to the next race, race 6. Okay, right. Now I can help here. I shouldn't have actually had that coffee in a race that I didn't study, but I'm now ready to give it full attention because I've gone like a good thing in races 6, 7, 8, 9. But let me hear from you first. What did you like in this race?
Well, this is going to be interesting, isn't it? I'm going Nkabesi as my first selection. Price is 7-1. Quite like a bit of Nkabesi today. On that run, 5 runs back, was a length behind Legislate Stance and is 5 kilograms better off. Chase Majan again. So, geez, I hope Chase has a good day. Not the ideal draw, but I know he's been a little bit disappointing the last 2. I think he could bounce back. An obvious runner is number 2, Legislate Stance, now with Robin Clarkson, and she's had a winner with one of Paul Peters' ex's horses, as we well know, running extremely well. But the horses like Bloomington, Flashy Apache came out and won again. So I think Bloomington's a big runner. And then number 7 coming in hot. So to cut a long story short, Neil, I would go 9, 2, and definitely a chance for 5.
Okay, interesting because I got a lesson earlier on from Klochlo of how to pronounce Nkabisi. Apparently it's Nkabisi or something of that nature.
Say it again, Nkabisi.
Nkabisi, I think that's what she told me, but I've forgotten immediately.
Okay.
But what it does mean is a comforter. It means to give comfort.
Okay.
So interesting because she said that'll win. But you heard that. Interesting. It has been running in merit rated 84s, and this is a merit rated 80. So, like you, I gave it a bit of a sneak. I think he's pretty honest as well. This horse. I think you'll get a run for your money. I'm not so sure he can win. I mean, he can win, but he certainly never runs a bad race.
No.
I think, he once ran a bit poorly, but that was when he was tried over 1800. I don't think he's quite stays that trip. So he might be the value in the race. I think I'm with you there. I just want to throw one other in. I thought the coming in hot was pretty well in. Gavin Lorena rides. In fact, on the form line, they both ran behind Electric Gold on the 9th of July. And coming in hot is 2 kilograms down, and R Nkabisi is 4.5 kilograms down. So she's 2.5 kilograms better off and beat her. Beat him.
Yeah. And beat him.
And beat him. So, but I do think Gavin Lorena might have quite a nice day tomorrow. So, but it's a trappy race, that is for sure.
It is a trap, and I must just say that coming in hot is weighted to get closer to number 5, Bloomington, who's beaten him twice.
Correct.
There shouldn't be too much between those two.
Yeah, I saw it exactly the same. The only thing with last time, of course, Bloomington's now gone from a 73 to a 76, and coming in hot stayed 74. So you're right, he's weighted to be a bit closer than him, and it brings in a few others. Yeah, I didn't like the race either, like you, Lyle. I thought there might be a few shorties to look at there. Okay, let's see if we can go short somewhere as we move on to race 7. And the scratching in this race is number 8.
May I just say one more thing in race? May I just say race number 6, Turpitz, just to mention that Brett Crawford did say working well, but will need the run. I had to mention that because I did look at this horse, would have a chance, but Fine James and Brett quite straightforward. And when they say we'll need the run, then I think it might just need the run, just by the way, number 8.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's a nice horse. He shed his maiden over 6 furlongs, which was interesting because he's a son of Silvano out of a Galileo mare. But that family's quite interesting. There's another one in the family that strangely enough sprints. But Turpitz, named after the battleship. Well, if that wins, it'll stink me. I can tell you.
Okay. Yeah, me too.
I can't put everything in. Okay, on to race 7. This is 6 furlongs around the turn, so the draw is critical. Number 8, Kalahari Blues, a non-runner. What did you think here, Lyle?
Again, not easy, Neil. I'm going with a horse that's coming off a 217-day rest. That is number 7, Bonnaroo. I see the money has come because this horse is a 33-10. Cabello Matugnani for Mike Lecoq, and I wrote here, if ready, a very big race because it's weighted to beat Chayavana on that last run alone. If we go back to those form lines, particularly a form line like Rosenwind, horses 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th all won. The maiden form lines worked out well. It's just not much wrong here, except the fact that she's off a 217-day rest. My value definitely was number 12, Back to Basics. Nathan Klink riding. Not a good draw here, But I just think that even from that draw there, this horse just might be okay. And if you look at him last time, he won from a bad draw as well, and he won cozily. And then obviously we'll put in horses like number 9, Twice the Storm, and Chayavana. But sure, as soon as I find the cock representative tomorrow, Neil, I will ask them how Bonnaroo is, because if she is fit, I think she could run a massive race. If she isn't, wow, I'm very keen to listen to what you have to say.
Well, I'll tell you what about this filly. It was either the first start or the second start, and Nico and I compared notes, and we both said what a terrific looking filly she was, and we labelled her as a real horse for the future. But she's obviously had her issues. She's only had 4 starts and she's a 4-year-old already. But the money for her would give me confidence. I know she's a big, strong, strapping daughter of Rafif. So, yeah, I think she is certainly deserving of mention. I thought number 6, Bronco Blitz, I mentioned, I think Gavin Larena might have a nice day. I thought that was a little bit of value, Bronco Blitz. He's drifted in the market, but he has run in merit-rated 96s and 95s before. And in fact, Gavin's ridden the horse 4 times and won twice on him. So, yeah, he hasn't ridden him for a long, long time. But I think that Bronco Blitz will be very pleased to see Gavin in the parade ring. So I'm sure he'll say, get on board, let's go. So that would be my value in the race.
Neil, I'm glad you've said that, because just if you look at Bronco Blitz, I'm looking at the price there, 10-1. Chayavana sitting at 3-1. On that run behind Big Eyed Girl, Bronco Blitz is weighted to beat Chayavana. So I couldn't agree with you more. It's a definite run, Neil, and good value.
Yep, exactly right. So Bronco Blitz, my value there. But Bonnaroo, lovely filly, and if she's half fit, I think carrying only 56, she might lead them a merry dance. Right, we've got to speed up because my Zoom tells me we've got 8 minutes left. So let's move on to the next race, where Kiss Me Captain is the favorite. Number 1, May Queen, by the way. It's not updated here. May Queen is scratched. Oh, Kiss Me Captain. Well, unbeaten, yeah. Unbeaten in 3 starts. And now 13-10. Is she vulnerable here, or does she make it 4 from 4? Because I've got a choice in the race, and it's not that.
Yeah, no, it's vulnerable, as we well know, Neil. Looking for 4 out of 4 is not easy to do. She's gone up another 6 points. And if you go on a line through Golden Aspen, it would bring a horse like What a Honey straight in here. But Diego de Gavea does ride, again, knows her well. But yeah, What a Honey has to be a player, and I've got value as well at the bottom, number 10, Flower Bomb. So I thought What a Honey and Flower Bomb were big runners here, Neil.
Okay, so yeah, interesting. Rod Beckus is tip number 10, Flower Bomb. And, you know, normally I have nothing but praise for Rod, and he might well be right. But I find, I'm going to ask you the question, how can you guys, Rod and you, like Flower Bomb, when on debut she got beaten 2 1/4 lengths by Showtime, who runs here, and Showtime has to only give her 1/2 kilogram when she smashed her by 2 1/4 lengths.
So you like a bit of Showtime?
I love Showtime. I mean, it's run in the Tony Russell. It ran in the nursery. And in those 2 graduations, blinkers on. I don't know. I'm assuming Corey Lindsley's got a right, because those last 2 runs, she's not, you know, don't
not quite the best.
The blinkers are on, Muzzy's on. I think Showtime's a massive runner.
Well, I just didn't want to go to I wouldn't give too many selections, but she certainly was my 4th. On that run behind Gallivanting, she does hold number 4, Blinded by the Lights, Neil. That's at 4.55. And my other notes I wrote here, Blinker Strike and taken on some top sort. So point made, Neil. I just quite like the price about Flower Bomb, but you make a good point.
Well, I like both of them. I mean, the thing is, the Showtime did beat Flower Bomb, but she's 1/2 kilogram better off. And Showtime's form seems to have gone a bit flat. So, yeah, I mean, you could back both. If either one won, you'd make a profit. But I do like a bit of value here, down here, with Showtime and Flower Bomb. Not to say Kiss Me Captain can't win a game. Of course she can. But
she's good.
But we're always looking for value, aren't we?
Can I just stay there again, just to include number 6, just to go back to that point, Neil, because I write a lot of notes here, and it takes me a while to read them sometimes. But on that win where Kiss Me Captain beat No Time Is Taken, she beat Golden Aspen by 3.9, but was getting 4.5 kilograms. So if you go and look at What a Honey, What a Honey was just a quarter of a length behind Golden Aspen, giving 3 kilograms. So and I know Golden Aspen's not the most consistent horse. I love her because she did me such a big favor. But on a line through Golden Aspen, What a Honey is going to be right on top of Kiss Me Captain as well.
Yeah. And I mean, Rocket's Red Glare is not that far behind either, because they met on the 13th of October. Exactly. And that's why I'm with these two horses. Can we have a follow-up coffee? I'm on Showtime, you're on Flower.
Well, can I take What a Honey?
Okay. I don't mind that.
Deal. Okay, yeah. I'll take, because that was my originally
54.
I think
okay,
so.
Right. Lyall on What a Honey and Neil on Showtime for a coffee.
I'll be sending you WhatsApps after race whatever and race 8.
No, just send me the coffee.
Last time I got you.
Yeah, you always get me. Let's go to race 9. Last race of the day. Oh, hang on, I have an update.
This is going to be
fun. Yeah, let's go to race 9. Okay, so this is the race we both started studying. What have you come up with? I see money for Mythical Dream from 22 to 10 to 18 to 10.
I think I'm going to be shocked if you like the horse I've chosen, Neil. I'm going with Stormy Lass at 33 to 1. The daughter, What a Winter, Roy Magna, Gabriel Peterson, 53 kilogram. Oh, you serious?
Yes, my first choice.
Is it? Hey, brilliant! I'm so happy to hear that, because I know you can find these roughies. Yeah, Neil, we could do a story here. Holds a lot of horses in this race here, so I'm so glad you agree with me. And I almost want to stop there because it's a very competitive race. There are lots of chances, but for me at that price, 33 to 1. Thank you and goodbye. Take it each way. Oh, lovely, love it.
Yeah, extremely well in first choice, and I've done the 2 there because that's those are the races that she's been running in. She was running in 76 merit ratings.
I'm so impressed that we agree on, and we haven't spoken before today's program. The guys and girls must know. We have not chatted about this. That's amazing, Neil.
Yeah, so that's going to be our value play. I suspect we might as well commit to making it the price booster tomorrow, because
why not?
We both like it. And the other thing is that it's a big field, so you're going to get 14 horses there.
Four places.
We've got 3 minutes, so I just want to go back to sharing that. And
just while you're doing that, I'll just talk about other horses that need to be included. Letitia's Angel, obviously. Mythical Dream, obviously. Number 10, Clean Living. Number 9, Rosewood Trippy. But theoretically, quite a those I've just mentioned are held by Stormy Lass, and that's why we're both quite keen on this 33 to 1 horse.
Yes, we'll see how the race cuts up a bit. One filly that did come out reasonably well for me was Letitia's Angel, and you mentioned earlier on how well Ryan Munger's been riding.
Yes,
she's had 1 start over this course and distance and won it, and in fact, Ryan's ridden her 5 times for 2 wins, a second and a third. So he's got a great relationship with her. I think she'll run well. Look, she is a 5-year-old mare.
And she's also 1-for-1 course and distance.
So
the only horse that I thought did hold her was the only horse that I thought held her was Stormy Lass. So yeah, Stormy Lass had to fluff her lines. I agree. Letitia's Angel's a big runner, and she's running well.
Yeah. Interesting though. I suppose that Mythical Dream could be anything. I think that mother, Lightning Bird, comes from all of that Speed family. Mythical Bird and all of that. I think
Speedy family.
Arrow Creek Stud is the pedigree, but I think that the family might have come from that, which was the Alchemies family. I'm actually going to go and have a look at Lightning Bird's pedigree, what Lightning Bird's mother is.
Please do. I'll do that as well.
Okay, well, that's it. So we've only got a minute left. We've discovered what our value play is going to be. No doubt we're on the same one at 33 to 1.
No coffee. Yeah.
No, we'll just buy, and in my coffee, we'll be buying drinks all
because we've got a minute left, just give us your thoughts on Craig's last ride.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, neither did I.
I didn't like it, but it is his last ride, and it's strange how the universe works. So I just made a note of it because she's a What a Winter. So if you have a look, I mean, our filly, Stormy Lass, got beat her by 5 lengths, and she's 7 kilograms better off.
I know.
Yeah.
Neil, I was shocked when I went through this card. That had
Yeah.
price. No.
Okay, well, it's
And
good.
it's Gabriel, my nephew. So hopefully you can write a good one for us.
Okay, lovely. Right, we're going to get cut off any moment. Lyall, thank you very much. I'm glad we got it done
Thank you,
early.
Neil.
You can get off to the Vaal early. I can avoid stage 4 load shedding, and our punters can get on Stormy Lass. Thanks very much, matey.
Thank you, Neil. Have a lovely evening. Thank you.
You too.